Everyone remembers the Wii U, right? It pioneered the motion-controlled gaming genre. It was a console made for the whole family, and it really has its dent in video game history. But would you believe me if I told you it wasn't the first motion-controlled video game console?
Yeah.
Oh, so then, what was the first motion-controlled video game? Well, I still don't know. It's probably something like Hang On, when you had to move around in some arcade cabinet to steer a motorbike or something like that. But we also had the Power Pad, which is an accessory for the NES, which is pretty much just a DDR map, but a little different, because you would step on the buttons. But you could just cheat and use your hands like bongos on the map. So was that a motion-controlled thingy? And if you could cheat and use your hands like bongos, was the Donkey Kong barrel accessory a motion-controlled thing?
No, it's not motion-controlled. It's bongo pounding controlled. It says right on the box.
And also there were those weird gloves and crap for the oldie consoles like the NES and Genesis. And yeah, those were motion controlled, but not really. Why? Well, they sucked. Okay, now that we got the chit chat out of the way, let's dive into the cool and obscure stuff. The XaviXPORT was released in 2004. Mostly sports games were released for the thing, and every game had a separate controller for it, plus all the games were like 16-bit. And this was going up against stuff like the PS2 and original Xbox. But it doesn't matter that the console looks like a DVD player. How are the games? Well, as far as I can tell, they aren't that bad. Sure, having there be a different controller for each game takes up a lot of space, but it does leave for more room for creativity and ways to play. Like in this game called Eye Hand, where you practice eye-hand coordination. It's a good idea. You just put it on the glove and wave around. It's weird because they kinda tried to market this as a fitness system and a video game console at the same time, and those are two totally different markets. So what are we even doing here? Well, the console is fine, but it never sold well. The website is pretty much down too. If you try to go there, it's just a website with loads and loads of articles about anything in the world, and I kinda think that the whole website is just botted.
And when that's what precedes your video game console, you know you just sharded yourself.
So let me tell you the two types of motion controlled games. We got motion controllers and camera controllers. The difference is that motion controller games have you move around the controller and stuff to control it, but camera controller games have you use your entire body while a camera tracks your motion. They both have their pros and cons, but the next console I'm going to show you is a camera controlled one. Planet Clue also has a great video on this one and it goes way more into detail, but it's the GoGo TV released in 2005. It was for the little kids and it was supposed to keep the little kids fit. So this one had a camera and it would have you on screen pretty much all the time, but all the games still had their own controller, and I don't even think that the separate controllers were all that necessary. And to be honest, the console and games just aren't all that interesting. It got discontinued pretty fast, so we didn't even get that many games, and all the games weren't really good, because who would want to start up a console and play flashcard fishing?
And when that's what's on your console, you know you just sharded yourself.
The Hasbro Ion was yet another motion-controlled console. You know how the last console was made for little kids? Well, this one was made for little kids, but now it's educational. I think it was pretty cool. It only had licensed games, and the only buttons were on the console itself. But that's been a thing with all the other consoles so far, so I don't know if that's really a cool thing or not. I also heard that the load times on it are abysmal. It gives off the same vibes as educational game consoles like the Leapster, InnoTab, and MobiGo. But of course, it failed.
And when that console you made fails, you know you just sharded yourself.
And we also have the PlayStation EyeToy. It's an add-on for the PS2, which is just a camera. Heck, it can actually be used as a webcam. It's just terrible quality. So it had exclusive games made for it, but there were also many regular games with extra bonus modes that would just let you use it in some way. I heard that this is actually a really good console add-on. You just need to get the right games, especially if you live in Europe, because I kid you not, almost half of the games exclusive to the EyeToy are Europe exclusives.
And when half the library are Europe exclusives? I mean, well, that's not really a bad thing, I guess. I mean, it's still a little bad, so I guess. Where's the little pee-pee in your pants?
Shut the fuck. But then after the Wii release, there was a big boom in motion controlled gaming, like really big, because suddenly the Xbox 360 and PlayStation got their own motion controlled add-ons with their own exclusives, like Get Fit with Mel B and Funky Lab Rat. And after all the dust settled, motion controls kind of became a regular thing. I mean, if we stopped doing that, we wouldn't get another Just Dance game. Now we have the modern motion controlled consoles. These mostly fall under the camera controlled ones, but it's not only that. I guess since that the motion control market has already been tapped into, we're trying to do what the GoGo TV was trying to market itself as. Console which will let your kids have fun while having exercise. The first one I've seen is the NEX Playground, but something tells me that this is only for kids. Sure, it's focused toward it, but there's also a ton of party games like Brainy Inc., NHL Puck Rush, Zumba Fitness Party, Care Bears Rainbow Ride. Oh wait, maybe not that one.
I saw one of these at Best Buy, and believe me when I tell you they're small. Like, you could shoplift one of these by putting it in your pocket. It's smaller than this, I think. I don't remember it that well.
I feel like this is worth a buy, but like, I don't need one. And we also have the Kinhank Motion X, which looks a bit like an NEX Playground. It doesn't get new games, it just has the built-in 40, or at least I think so. Oh, and they have a customer servicing on their website. Looks like Quayla Fu is making a comeback. Wow!
Why am I talking about this? It's boring as heck. I want to be talking about the Leap Move. It's not just your normal educational gaming console. It makes learning an adventure.
Look, the people in the ad are pretty into it. Maybe a little too much. Hey, there's 25 games included, and you can even download more for pretty cheap.
You know, all these are the same thing. They make learning fun. There's no controllers needed. You just plug it in and play. Wow. Well, what are we going to do with all these consoles? Well, I don't know. You figure it out. Because I think we all know why it's pretty useless. Who wants to play a game called Funky Lab Rat?